Hi everyone, it's Arlette Beauchamps here with a video on if anyone can sing with good practice. You know, I get asked this a lot, and I think it's because at one time there were a lot of voice teachers out there who were saying absolutely no to that question. They would say, not anyone can sing, practice, or no practice. And that's the sentiment that was popularized. But I have never believed that. My belief is if you can talk, you can sing. As long as your vocal cords are functioning, you can sing. If your vocal cords are impaired by sickness or damage, you will not be able to sing. I was just told the other day that the singer-songwriter Bob Dylan was once able to sing quite well, but was in an accident that impaired his vocal cords. Although I can't prove that, I was just told it. The same with Julie Andrews, if you know who she is. She is the woman who sang in the 1960s musical on film called The Sound of Music. She played the role of Maria. Julie had an operation on her vocal cords sometime in the 1990s that destroyed them. And she has not been able to sing since then. So as long as you are not dealing with a dysfunction of the vocal cords, you will be able to sing. However, I have a disclaimer. You can sing, but you're going to sing like you, not like your favorite popular singer. So having said that, I think that's what happens with the voice teachers who claim that not just anyone can sing. They have a favorite singer in mind and are coming from the premise that if you can't sing like him or her, then you can't sing. A lot of people feel that way too, like some of your family members, for example. They can really believe that. But that's not what the question is. The question is, can anyone sing not? Can anyone sing like Beyonce or Whitney? So let me just quickly go over why you can't sing like someone else, because I get this request also a lot. Students will come to me and say, I want to sing like Beyonce, or I want to sing like Whitney Houston especially. I mean, I get more requests for Whitney Houston than anyone else. That R&B sound is the style of singing a lot of people are obsessed with. But Whitney has a very specific sound unique to herself, and so does everybody else. Let me tell you what's happening with that. The sound of your voice has a lot to do with your head shape and the caverns therein. That sounds weird, I know, but without getting too technical, the parts of your body between the vocal cords and the outside world, such as the throat, nose, and mouth, act as a resonating chamber to turn those buzzing sounds from your vocal cords into your unique human voice. So basically, the sound comes up, it buzzes in the cords, and then reverberates in the skull. Depending on what shape your skull is and how cavernous, the sound then comes out as your unique voice. So when people want to sound like Whitney Houston, you'd have to have her head shape, and her exact caverns to do that. The specific sound isn't going to be there without her head. You can learn a song and it can get close, but it cannot be exact. So that's why it's an impossible request to say you want to sound like somebody else. Now, people mimic others very well, especially if they already have a good R&B sound. You can try to mimic Whitney, but it will be just that, an imitation. In my opinion, true singing is when you can sing like yourself. So let's get back to the question, can anyone sing with good practice? Yes, like I said, as long as your vocal cords are not damaged, you can sing well with good practice. Basically, there are three different types of singers. The first type of singer is a singer who I call popped out of the womb singing. They don't know how they sing. They just know that they can sing, and they sound amazing. They are doing all of the technique, right? And they don't even realize it. They've been sounding like that since they were born, basically. I think Julie Andrews is a perfect example of this. Julie Andrews said, I had this freak voice. I popped out of the womb singing that way. I don't know, I was singing like this at 6 years old. And I think at 10 years old, she was singing for the Queen of England. You know, it's like no training, no nothing. Most of your very famous singers popped out of the womb singing in this way. And then the second category is a category of people who can kind of sing, but they need a little help. But after they get that work, they can sound fabulous. I saw a video of one of our very famous singers today singing at the Apollo Theater in New York City, and oh my God, it was so bad. She was off pitch, off key. It was bad. Needless to say, she was booed off the stage. But listen to her now, and what a difference. That's what can happen with good practice. Now, before I get to the last category, if this content is helping you in any way, I encourage you to hit the like button and then hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any new videos being uploaded, and feel free to pass this video along to others. Now back to the content. The third category is a singer who you would call tone deaf. This means if you hit a note on the piano, they can't sing that note because they can't hear it in its correct position on the scale. Stay tuned about this because I'm going to do a whole video on tone deafness, because contrary to popular belief, it is trainable. If this is you, just know that you will have to first master hearing and replicating a tone before moving on to learning scales. And that process can sometimes take a few months just doing that, but afterwards you can progress rather quickly into learning songs. I have one student that did just that. She worked really hard to hear pitch on the piano and then moved into being able to sing songs. It is possible. It's just going to take a bit of extra work in your lessons. So there you have it. Anyone really can sing with good practice. Hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new. I will see you in the next video.